back, everyone. Thank you for bearing with us while we went off to take our quick break. And we got traumatized by something outside the game, but I'll talk to you guys about that later. So far tonight, we have met a motley assortment of heroes who have been summoned by the illustrious Mr. Powers down to Club Tartarus for a secret meeting. We rejoin our heroes as they arrive at the club just in time for Michael Bublé's set to begin.
What?
What?
Do we have to?
Michael Bublé?
He's here
Who's
from
this
the
guy?
future.
Like in 1930?
1924.
It's worse.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
I didn't say it was good for us, but it's Christmas music. It was him or Mariah, and I didn't want to.
Oh,
Hey, I like Michael Bublé.
What,
He's
you
not
didn't-
alive.
You didn't want to pull in Wham?
Yeah, George
Yeah.
Michael.
what's wrong with you people?
Ben Crosby. I mean, come
A lot
on.
of people hate Christmas. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, I could have had Bing or Bob Crosby here, but Club Tartarus has musicians from the future all the time.
Including that one that was playing some sort of ballad the last time we were here.
It was good stuff. Just put on the Die Hard soundtrack, says Deuce.
Ha
No,
Yes.
Look, he's
not a
here.
Christmas movie. I don't know what I was trying to
Yes,
say there.
it is. You were wrong. That's why you couldn't say it.
Ooh.
Everyone, if
No.
you'll follow me. Who's working the side door tonight? Because I'm assuming that's where we're coming in.
Yes, there is the usual Oni standing there. His name is Oni because all of their names are Oni.
Any trouble tonight?
Oh, no, not yet. Just a couple of people from the future trying to get out this door.
Not sure why.
They want to see what it's like in 1924. I told them it was cold.
Well,
They asked me why we weren't in black and white, and I don't know what that's about.
future is strange, apparently. Well, keep up the good work.
You got kids with you?
Mr. Powers asked for them.
These kids in masks?
How's it going? What's this about a future?
Stranger things have happened.
I am the mysterious boy. Please take us to this Mr. Powers.
You look familiar.
You don't.
You sound familiar. He looks at Minerva.
No.
Did you get a little one from the timeline somewhere?
No.
Hmm.
I would have had to have done that within the club.
I suppose that's true. Alright, right this way. Boss is waiting for you.
I am carrying my weapons. Does that present a problem to the guard?
He doesn't have a problem with it.
I mean, he's carrying his weapon.
Yeah, well, he works here.
His weapon's a club. Not a 1911 and a M1 Garand. I don't even know what your rifle is.
Yes. Yeah. Might be a little early for that. I forgot
Yes,
I
I
have
would. Yes, a little early for that.
Not too much.
It's a Car 98. I don't know. Champion should have a
Good system.
Winchester. That would be dope.
Which
Yeah,
one,
who-
Sam or Dean?
No, lever.
Wow. Wow.
That was a good joke, but I was on mute to cough.
Adam, obviously.
Ah,
Oh, that's the one that can go
yeah.
missing and nobody will care.
Hmm.
It's hard being Adam Winchester. But the Oni will take you in. He'll take you back to Minerva's office, where Mr. Powers is sitting behind her desk. Which Mr. Powers is sort of this regal-looking, dark-skinned man, dressed in a purple velvet smoking jacket. He's got a crop of white hair on his head. He's wearing glasses. He does have a file open in front of him, and standing next to him, or standing at the front of the desk, there is a elf, a Christmas elf. Again, with dark skin, a very broken nose, small beady eyes, long bat-like wings, dressed in a trench coat.
Wings?
Well, yeah, his ears look like bat wings. They're just long, pointed.
You didn't say ears though.
Sorry, his ears. Long, pointed bat ears, I think is what I meant to say. He's dressed almost like a hard-boiled detective from the 1920s, but in Christmas elf print, so green and yellow. Green and red for the trench coat, fringed with white fur. He is smoking a candy cane like it is a cigarette, and smoke is coming out of the end.
Can I ask you to put that out in my office, please?
You can ask.
Put that out in my office, please.
And he'll snub it on the desk. Put it in his pocket. What, you didn't have an
What?
ashtray? Mr. Powers, is this what you got? And he sort of looks you all up and down. Yes, Chucky. These are the people that I was able to summon on such short notice. Please, come in, all of you. It is good to see you.
We're doing this in my office, boss. Is there a reason we're not doing this in yours?
I don't take Christmas folk in my office. Last thing I want is that big red man being able to find his way down here.
He's been at the club. Oh,
He's been in the club. He's not been in my office. And Chucky sort of looks over his shoulder at Mr. Powers and says, I think it's cute you think Santa Claus doesn't know where your office is. He sees you when you're sleeping, man.
Oh, Santa Claus is he here too?
Santa
No.
Claus isn't real, dimwit.
You watch your mouth.
Yeah,
Watch
pal, you watch your
yours.
mouth.
Santa Claus is real. And he's in trouble.
Whoa, what happened?
He's been missing for about a week. And I came down here to tell Mr. Powers that we needed some help finding him from experts. And I guess you guys is the experts.
Minerva will look over at Mr. Powers. You would like us to help find Santa?
Yes, I would like you to accompany Mr. Kane back to the North Pole, find out where Santa Claus is, and bring him back safely if possible. Which is why I was
Oh.
comfortable sending children on this expedition.
Oh, is that why?
Of course. Children love Christmas, I'm told.
Side eye look at the one that just said Santa Claus isn't real.
Anyway, should we get going? I want my adventure to start, please.
Where are we supposed to start looking for Santa Claus?
Chucky has the details.
Are you sure about this?
I think it's a great use of our resources. And it would be nice for Santa Claus to owe us one instead.
Since we're doing the work, won't Santa Claus owe us one and not you?
I guess that depends on how Santa Claus feels about the jurisdiction of power. You are acting as my representatives in the real world.
Could you run the dynamics of that by me again? I'm pretty sure we squared up last time. And I'm pretty sure the kid doesn't owe you anything.
The kid doesn't owe me anything yet, but he will.
Oh,
Don't normally trade in favors for things that haven't happened yet, boss.
They only haven't happened for you yet. Everything happens at the same time for me.
How do you know my father?
Your father is a repugnant little man. I was trying to get a hold of you.
Oh, so that wasn't a mix-up. You are calling kids in now to do your dirty work.
Only for the Santa Claus stuff. I wouldn't send them to do the things that I asked you and Minerva to do a couple years ago.
Hope
That's
not.
comforting.
And I'm
Why do you
not the
want
one
this
who
kid?
dresses him in bright blue and red.
Well, I choose to dress in this outfit. I used to dress in this circus. This entertained people from all across the country.
Is that suit even bulletproof, champion?
It is.
There is no such thing. It's as bulletproof as we can make it.
They
It's
haven't
bullet
invented that yet.
resistant. Besides, you got to keep it light. If I don't get hit at all, it doesn't need to resist nothing.
I'm just saying,
You needed
champion.
one capable person here.
Well, it sure ain't you.
Challenger. What did you say?
I said it sure ain't you, pal.
Enough.
Do you think it's you?
Hey, children. Enough. Everyone apparently is going on this adventure, and we're going to have to get along.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we should get going then. Mr. Kane, was it?
Yeah, that's me. Chucky Kane. He extends a little hand.
Minerva will shake it. I assume you have a way for us to get where we need to go.
We're going to be traveling in style. Don't you worry about that. Unless Commander Khaki over there wants to take his helicopter.
Afraid it's not big enough for all of us to travel in that. So
Oh, don't worry. I got a vehicle that can carry all of us.
that's good.
And if you want to take one of your little contraptions, I could probably put it in the bag.
In the bag.
Yeah, the bag.
Can you fit a whole car in the bag?
Yeah, I can fit a whole car in the bag.
You're talking about Santa's bag?
Yeah, the bag that carries all the presents for every good girl and boy.
Okay.
I hate magic.
I know. You've been awfully quiet, Mr. Wright. Are you all right with this?
It won't be the first pagan deity I've tangled with, but let's get this over with.
All right. And let's get this adventure underway.
Well, Chucky will take you guys back out into the club, and he will take you out the door and onto the roof of Club Tartarus. He'll take you up the back ladder that leads up on top, and he will wiggle his little elf nose, and Santa's sleigh will appear on the rooftop. And he'll say, "Do you want me to go down and pick up your car, champion, or?"
Will we be able to use it on this little soiree at the North Pole, or is the snow going to be a little deep for that?
Yeah, we got roads. We're civilized.
Okay. Good to know. Then maybe we should pick up the car.
And he will get into the seat behind the 8 reindeer, and he will snap the reins, fly down into the street to pick up the car, and then off you guys head to the North Pole. It is a journey of about 3 hours.
And we are flying in the air, being pulled in a sleigh by 8 reindeer. Minerva is probably equal parts impressed and awed and scared.
James is living for it. He's trying not to show like he's excited, but he has like a bunch of like he has wide eyes and wonder on his face. Like, how is this happening? I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's not often we get kids up here.
Why not?
Because they're not really supposed to know about the Santa Claus thing. Outside of knowing that the presents show up.
Well, what else aren't we supposed to know?
Yeah. It's probably best if I don't tell you. Let's just say you're not going to like where the sausage gets made, kid.
But I love sausage. Look, I'm sure there ain't nothing down there that's gonna be too big of a deal. I mean, this is Santa Claus we're talking about.
Yeah, you're right about that. Just be on your best behavior, okay? Things are a little tense right now at the North Pole.
Are all the elves like you?
Not all the elves.
I thought you guys were supposed to be happy, small people.
Some of us are happy. Most of us are grumpy. It's my job to figure out who's who. To make sure everybody stays in line and gets their work done.
One of us is a dentist.
Oh, you know about the Hermie guy, yeah. I hate that
So, what can you tell us about what happened?
guy. I wasn't there when it happened. Santa went out with this guy from your world. And the two of them apparently got jumped by something. The one guy got shot in the head. Santa Claus didn't come back. But the guy that got shot in the head, he woke up in the morgue.
I hate magic.
He woke up?
Yeah, I mean, he came back to life, whatever you want to call it. But he shook off that getting shot in the head thing pretty good.
Is he still at the North Pole?
Yeah, and he's real pissed about it. But he was the
This
last
guy got a
person who
name?
saw Santa alive, so he can't leave until we figure out our investigation.
So I guess we'll talk to him when we get there.
Yeah. We got a couple of suspects rounded up. The usual suspects. We got Holly Jollyevich in. She's always trying to rile everybody up. And we called in Krampus.
Excuse me?
Krampus. He's a German spirit. Beats kids with a birch rod. Puts them in a bag when they're bad.
He's a suspect?
Well, yeah. He's been trying to off Santa for a long time. Says he's making the kids too soft. Rewarding them for too much good behavior. Not enough bad behavior.
Don't usually reward people for bad behavior.
Yeah, you're right. I meant punish bad behavior. And we called in Slinky the Snowman, too. He's always wanted for something or another. I don't think he done it, though. He's a little screwy. If you ask me, it was the missus.
Think
Mrs.
Claus
Claus?
did him in?
Yeah, she's the new Mrs. Claus. I don't like her as much as the old Mrs. Claus.
Wait, there's a new Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, Santa traded her in for a new model. Sent the old Mrs. Claus to a farm upstate or something.
I'm never a big believer in Christmas, but none of these things sound correct to me.
That's because we're doing our job right at the propaganda mill.
No.
Propaganda?
Yeah, it's important to use that you got the Christmas spirit. But
At
again,
the news that that Santa literally got rid of his wife, James sort of gets a little quieter and stares out the window.
Are you okay?
Yep.
You sure? You don't seem like it.
I'm fine, lady.
Okay.
What else do we know about Santa Claus's villains?
Well, they're all malcontents. Or people who stir up trouble at the North Pole, try to make it not what it is. Which is the pinnacle of efficiency, is what it is. You'll have the chance to interrogate some of them when we get with her.
He does perk up a little bit when he says interrogate.
Wow.
And I'll give you a flyby of the area so you can get your legs. See where everything is.
Certain getting our legs is going to happen in midair, but bird's eye view wouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah, just to give you a look around, see what things is like.
How long does it take to get there?
3
Oh.
hours, you said.
Be there in 2.5 hours now.
Not used to long road trips? Or sky trips?
No, I don't get to leave my house much.
Don't you?
What's it to
go
you?
I don't know. You just seemed you had all that stuff going on. You seemed like the type of person to, vacation in some part of France or something. I figure you're used to trips.
My dad does vacation in France. I just don't go with him.
Well, ain't that a waste?
Yeah.
This kid's bumming me out. Chucky looks over his shoulder.
Not the only one.
Don't worry though. I have Professor Mysterium to guide me.
That's
Don't
that
need
guy's
anyone
name.
else. What?
That's the guy who got shot in the head.
What?
Professor Mysterium?
Yeah, it took a second
Oh.
for that to ring in. That's his name. Or
Oh,
he doesn't like it when people
no.
call him that, but that's what some of the elves know him as.
No. Really?
Yeah, the big guy called him in to kill some Yeti. There's some abominable snowmen that were coming down out of the mountains.
Oh my god. We're going to get to talk to him?
You're gonna get to interrogate him. He's the last person who saw Santa Claus alive. But he won't talk to us. He says talking to elves is beneath him.
He'll talk to me. I'm his sidekick.
You
Can't
do
remember
kind
this
of dress
look
like him.
Get a give champion a look.
Wait, so if you're his sidekick, how come you weren't with him?
He decided to do this mission on his own, just not to spoil the wonders of Christmas, like he said. Kids aren't supposed to be up here. Duh, listen.
Well, you are the only kid here, so I guess that makes sense.
He narrows his eyes. If I'm a kid, you're a kid.
No, not even close. What you might call a teenager or a young adult of sorts.
You act like a kid.
You act like a kid.
You're all children. You'll be quiet.
Jonesy, I'm so glad you said that because I forgot to say it as Mr. Powers. Oh, I mean, you're all kids compared to me. Oh, there's so many immortals running around this universe. It's rough. Can't throw a cat without hitting an immortal person.
You made it.
All right. So, after a couple of hours of bickering, I assume, the heroes come flying into the snow-swept wastes of the North Pole. Which, again, you can look down and see all sorts of wondrous sights as you are making your way across. The ground, there's almost this energy field that you pass through as the Soleil enters the North Pole portion of the Arctic Circle. Looking down, you can see there is an island adrift in the bay that has a walled-in compound from which you can see several dark hovels. And Chucky will take you on a full loop of the area. You can see Santa's castle, which has this big, large, medieval-style castle. There's a couple of workshops and smog-spewing factories nestled in amongst the castle. Just to the north of the castle, there is a small, ramshackle collection of buildings that Chucky will let you know is called Jollygrad. You can see a couple of elves moving around down there. There seems to be a general feeling of malaise around the area as you're flying over. He'll take you past the last Holly Hearth, which appears to be a large lighthouse that shines a beam out over the bay. He will take you to Carpenton, which is a woodcutter's lodge in just northwest of Santa's Castle. Licorice Berg, which is a small dock on Lake Licorice where they looks like they're fishing things out of the lake, and he will bring you to land at the reindeer stables. And it is almost perpetually daylight here. There's sort of a thin veneer of gray sky, but it does not appear to be night.
Not exactly what I pictured Santa's village to look like.
Yeah, it's home. It's effective.
Home's not supposed to be effective.
It is when you gotta fill 40 million gift orders every Christmas.
Thought it'd be more cheery or something.
We ain't got time for cheer. We're working, kid.
Oh, well,
You said we're landed near the reindeer stables?
Yes.
All right, so if I remember correctly, the disappearance took place on the way to the Yeti Caves.
Yep, that's what Chucky said.
Well, if you'll dig my car out of the bag, I guess we'll start our investigation. Can you direct us to the scene of the crime more precisely?
Do you want to head there or you want to interrogate the suspects first?
should we
Did
talk to
you-
that Mysterium guy first?
That's
He's
true,
not going to be happy to see us.
That's what I'm not-
Can talk to him by myself.
Yeah, that's
He's
okay,
certainly
kid. I
not
think
going to be
we'll
happy
all-
to talk to you. I'm sorry.
What makes you say
Yes.
that?
I guess if Mysterium was a witness, I guess that means he's our most likely person to talk to first.
Because he doesn't really like talking to anyone.
Do you know him?
We've met.
And he'll like scooch closer to Minerva. Was he super cool? He like looks at Challenger to make sure Challenger didn't hear him.
Not in the way that you're expecting. I'm sorry.
He's gonna be great. You just don't understand him like me.
So where are the
That
prisoners
is-
being held?
They're in the dungeon at Santa's castle. Except for Mrs. Claus, who has been sequestered to her chambers.
But that's also in Santa's castle.
Yes. The Redcoats have been doing a good job of keeping them in line.
The redcoats.
Do you want to lead the way, champion?
Well, yeah, I don't know the scale of this map. Maybe we can drive over to the castle.
Yeah, yep. I should have put a scale on the map. That would have been a good idea.
Fish
The whole
boss.
area is about 10 square miles.
That doesn't divide by hexes evenly. Sorry. It's
Sorry,
about
I
the-
didn't play AD&D. I don't know how to do this.
Hey, boss, there's no traffic, so maybe this time, maybe I can drive.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll there. We'll see how. We'll see how. We'll see how 3 hours of flying and all this other crazy bullshit has eroded Champion's will.
I can be very persuasive when I want to be, but this ain't that time.
All right, now,
Oh,
champion, make a will save versus that persuasion DC.
Oh, way to go! I had this under control, and then I had to go to bring my dice into it.
You did say your will was eroded.
Ha-ha!
Not that
Apparently
eroded.
not. Yeah, there's also no traffic signs and things. I think I better drive this time. Maybe next time.
Sorry, he doesn't let kids drive.
He's just, I mean, like, he just said, ain't no official roads here. Probably gonna be all a bit rough and bumpy. But next time, though, right, boss?
Probably
Yes.
because you don't have any experience driving because you're a child.
I can drive.
Well, I guess you won't get to prove it.
Yeah, I can tell whose sidekick you are. All right, let's get in the car.
I think Josiah is having a great time.
He's like, I hate children.
They will never find the bodies.
I don't know if that's Josiah or the demon.
Yes.
Oh, yes, perfect. But there's just a quick drive up the road in the champion chariot, not to be confused with the champion coupe from last time.
That's so that's so 1922. I mean, look past all that.
Yeah. You're on the cutting edge of pop culture there, champion.
That's right.
You drive the champion chariot on up to the gates of Santa's castle, and a couple of elves wielding halberds will come over and they will raise the portcullis so that you may enter.
They wearing red coats?
They are wearing red coats. Long red Santa-style coats. They're not dressed in the red and green of the other elves that you've seen. And some of them are wearing helmets that sort of obscure their faces. But they usher you in. They will lead the car up to the courtyard in front of Santa's castle. They'll tell you that we don't necessarily have parking for it, but if you want to leave it here, we will maintain it. And as you're all getting out of the car, you do notice there is a couple of elves that seem to be dragging what looks like a rocking horse across the street. But the rocking horse appears to be trying to break away from their grasp. And is yelling out, "Please, no, you can't take me there. I'm a good rocking horse. See, I rock." And then he doesn't move at all when he tries to rock himself forward.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but what is that about?
They're taking him to the island of misfit toys.
The what now?
He's a bad toy. He's got to go to the island.
I kind of was warring with myself on the way up here because I don't believe in all this Christmas magic stuff. I'm thinking I was better off. This place is messed up.
If you think he's a rocking horse, go try to rock him.
It's a toy that talks. Okay.
Nobody wants to
This
play
is a
with
little-
an equilibrium horse, all right?
I mean,
Does
someone might.
Does simple physics not work? I mean, he's got arcs on the bottom of the thing, doesn't he? Like, how is he not rock?
Go try it, wise guy.
Look, we're here to solve a mystery, not do product testing for your toys.
Challenger's gonna run off and try it.
Challenger, you try to rock the horse and it does not move at all.
Oh, come on, just giddy up, pal. You got this.
They don't understand. I'm a stationary horse, man.
Well, hey, some people might want a stationary horse. Not every horse has to move.
Do you want a stationary horse? And the horse kind of looks at the two elves, who sort of stop and look at you. That's not on his
Look at
list.
Champion with big wide eyes.
Looking at the horse, does it have? Are the boards or the runners at the bottom? Are they curved?
They are curved. They just don't move.
That's not possible. That's not how physics works. I hate magic. I really hate magic.
The elves are like,
So
we know
Champion's just
that
shaking his
we
head.
know you don't have a stationary horse on your list, kid.
So
Well-
surprise him. It's Christmas.
We don't do surprises.
Can't you add things to your list every day?
Are you trying to add a stationary horse to your list, Mr.
What if
Todd?
I am?
Oh, this is about you now. Okay. Mr. Bell.
Oh, hang on.
Well, I don't really want him to have him.
You know, it's painfully obvious these elves are hidden away at the North Pole and don't interact with people very often.
They generally do not. Let me be on with this.
Oh yeah, we got a mystery to solve. But we'll be back for this horse later.
Yeah, if you don't want that new champion branded slingshot, we'll give you the stationary horse.
I have a branded slingshot? This isn't Overdrive. I don't have my own toys.
Right, he's not a
Overdrive
speedster.
doesn't either.
I will think about it. And then he will reluctantly get off the horse.
Yep, you hear that? You're off to the gulag, my friend. And they start dragging the stationary horse away.
Well,
No.
you just killed that horse.
No, I just
It's not a horse. It's a toy. Let's go. Let's solve this mystery so you can get out of here.
we'll pick him up on the way out. We know where to find him now.
I hope we go to the Island of Misfit Toys. I've got a lot of bad things there.
I'm sure you do. Did we see that on the way in?
Yeah.
We saw the island and the dirty hovels, the dark hovels, I should say. But that's always off from the air.
Thank goodness Alex didn't do the purge at Christmas time. Good Lord.
Spoiler alert. That's what's happening.
Wow. I knew he wouldn't be put off.
I found another
Hmm.
way. The purge finds a way. Okay, so you're all led into Santa's castle, where sure enough there are some more of these redcoats lurking about. You also see a couple of large signs that feature a very imposing Santa Claus looking down on a bright red banner that says, "You better watch out."
Oh,
And there's sort of a general Orwellian vibe from Santa across.
Yeah, I mean it's 1924, so
Mm.
Uncle Joe Stalin's got a.
yeah. I'm like, is he a
Obviously.
communist?
I'm definitely getting that vibe.
Just don't look right at all. He ain't even smiling.
What Machiavellian nonsense is this?
I think
Orwell has
I
it-
liked it better when I didn't believe in Santa.
We're a couple decades too early for Orwell.
Yeah. Just a couple. I think, well, when was War of the
Minerva is
Worlds?
Minerva is definitely
49.
being very
He released 1984
Unnerved.
in 1949. So
Sorry, Andy, what's Minerva?
very unnerved by all of this.
in Soviet Russia, Santa watches you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Deuce, if you drop the A out of your sentence, North Pole is red state. And now I'm reading everything in a Russian accent in my head. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Good. It's good.
Oh no,
So-
the Arctic fox has traveled back in time
Yes.
That's on
and crossed
Wednesday.
universes. And crossed universes.
Anyway, so Chucky will lead you guys into Santa's throne room. You do see there is a big golden throne at the far end of the room. The entire space is decked out in sort of these striking Art Deco, Soviet propaganda feeling decorations. There are large sort of Atlas Shrugged styled statues up against the wall. There are redcoats patrolling around, and Chucky will come over to you all and say, "Stay here for a second. I'll go grab. Who do you want to talk to first?"
Better get the professor.
Yeah, he's liable to be the least pleasant, so may as well.
Professor Mysterium, bring him up, please.
I'll be right back. Don't touch anything.
They leave us alone.
They
We're
leave
about-
you mostly alone. There are 2 redcoats at the door.
Unfortunately, we're about 10 years too early for Flash Gordon, or that we'd get a Ming the Merciless vibe from Santa too.
I would definitely recommend not eating any of the food here. I suspect these creatures have some ties to the Fae, possibly given the current, propaganda. More likely a very militant faction of the Sealy Court.
Great.
Hey, Challenger.
What?
I double dog dare you to touch that wall over there.
Hang on a sec. Are you challenging me right now?
I'm challenging you, Challenger. The one over there.
Does Champion hear this?
He's whispering it.
I'm sure you are, and I'm sure you whisper with all the skill that most 13-year-olds have, which is
I'm 12.
even better.
Does he hear my whisper, Alex? Champion.
Champion, make a perception check.
I hope you roll a rock.
Come on, if the will save was amazing, then the perception's got to be good too, right? 16.
And Cat, give me a stealth check.
Oh, God. 19.
Oh!
Yes.
Champion, you're a little put off by everything that's going on.
Wait, so what is this there again?
A wall.
I'll just go touch a wall.
Yeah, touch the wall across from us, all the way over there.
All right, I'll do it. But you got to go touch one of those posters over there.
No.
We can't just have one person doing a dare.
It's actually how dares work. You first, and then I'll decide. Or are you not going to take my challenge?
Well, I can't turn down a challenge. You wait right there.
Will do.
What am I gonna say? No to this punk?
I've never said no to a dare ever in my whole life.
You dared me, now I gotta do it.
Right?
I've been challenged. That's my whole name. That's what I was doing.
That's literally my thing. Yeah, I'll go do it.
Are you just gonna walk over and touch it, or are you gonna do a flip or something cool?
So I'm gonna stealthily do it.
Oh. Give me a stealth check then there, Challenger.
20.
You head on over, and you sure enough sneak over and touch the wall.
Just pause for a moment so I can make sure that James sees it.
And you get this deep, sinking, dreadful feeling in your stomach as you do.
No, it was a soul drinking wall.
I'm going to give you a hero point, Challenger.
Oh, crap.
And for at least one more adventure, you're going to be on the naughty list as a complication.
James will also turn to Champion and say, "Hey, what's your sidekick doing?"
Oh, no.
Wow. Wow. So I will look. What is my sidekick doing?
Give me a perception check to
He's
see if you
literally-
notice the stealth check.
Even
Champion
lower.
Challenger has disappeared off the face of the earth.
Where? Challenger? Kid? Hey,
Yeah, I'm over here, boss. And he's just gonna like saunter back over casually.
okay, were you not listening to Mr. Josiah's warning? Fey, dangerous magic, don't touch things. I don't like
What?
this place.
No, I just had to stretch my legs. That horse was kind of uncomfortable.
What horse?
The the equilibrium horse.
Oh,
How quickly the GM forgets. Come on.
Yes.
Forgot the horse.
He's talking about the reindeer.
I thought he was.
Like, we didn't ride them, my guy.
I'm glad I'm paying attention. Just because I can't roll a perception check. I at least as
I failed my
Alright, what is-
insight check, not my perception check.
stay close. I don't trust this place. And don't touch anything.
You got it, boss. And then just shoots a dagger glare at James when Champion isn't looking.
James is just smirking.
And as this exchange comes to an end, the door does open at the far end, and Anson Walker is wheeled in, looking very disheveled. The whole back of his head is covered in black ash. He is not wearing a coat or a vest. He's just in a ash-stained white dress shirt. He doesn't have his cane, and he has a wild look on his eye as he is thrown to the ground by two of these elves in front of you. And Chucky is behind him.
Okay. It's kind of hard to get cooperation out of someone when you're roughing them up in the process. Elves.
He's a troublemaker. He's been on the naughty list for like 80 years.
Well, that's not hard to believe, but in any case.
Santa asked him to come up here.
Yeah, he was doing you a favor.
He was doing something naughty for us.
And Santa
For
sanctioned
you.
it.
You wouldn't hire somebody nice to do something naughty. That doesn't make any sense.
So, Champion will kind of, like, as an aside to Minerva, Powers didn't mention anything about Anson being here.
He never
Why
tells
is
us
that?
he never tells us the whole story. You know that.
I try not to work with him often enough to have to remember that.
Yeah, well, Minerva will just kind of shrug, and she'll go over to see about if she can help Anson stand up.
James is already over there. James
She's
trying to
still
get him
going.
up.
She's still going because she's afraid of what's about to happen for that.
Sir, I'm sorry they're treating you this way. I can't believe that they would treat Professor Mysterium with such disgrace.
Oh my god, you two.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not Professor Mysterium anymore. It's just Anson.
But you were Professor Mysterium.
It was a long time ago, kid. Oh no, what are you wearing?
I'm the mysterious boy.
The what?
Josiah actually gets like a little house mail brought on by the pain that Anson's currently feeling.
Yep.
The mysterious boy. It's my superhero name. Look, and he'll take off his top hat and he'll put his hand in it and pull out a rabbit. I can do magic just like you could.
I have too much of a hole in my head to see if that's real or not. Is that a real rabbit?
He'll throw it up in the air and it'll turn into a dove and fly away.
Oh, you can do magic. Great.
I'm here to help you. I'm gonna help you get out of here.
Are you an elf? How'd you get here?
He'll point back to Minerva.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Nice to see you too, Anson.
Go back to Mr. Powers and tell him I've got it under control.
I can clearly see that you don't.
I will have it under control soon enough. As he says that, like, you see like something moving up into his tear duct, and a buckshot BB falls out of his eye duct.
Wow.
Right. Well, while you're pulling yourself back together, we're here, and she looks down at James. We're here to help.
Well, I don't know where Santa Claus is.
Well, you can tell us what happened, and we can try to take it from there while you're pulling yourself back together.
You don't know who shot you, sir?
No, they shot me in the back.
Cowards.
Well, I generally believe people that need shooting deserve to be shot in the back, but I didn't get a good look at them. Man, that was about a week ago, and I'm still recovering. Whoever they were knew enough to take my cane, though. Otherwise, I would have busted myself out of here.
They took your cane?
Yeah. I'm always salty about that.
Salty.
So does that just mean you're less powerful, or do we have to be worried about what they're doing with your cane?
No, they can't use it. But it also means I can't use any magic to help you. I mean, I could explode. It's not really helpful to anybody else, though.
Right.
Can't
How about
find your
you-
cane either? Oh.
No, it's okay, Challenger. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering. I mean, it sounds like an easy thing to lose. You don't know how to locate it somehow?
Usually I can get a sense of where it is, but all this buckshot in my brain is messing with my senses a little bit.
Well,
Where do they even get guns at the North Pole?
I mean, children ask for them for Christmas, don't they?
BB guns.
Not always.
This is the 1920s, you.
Oh, yeah.
No. One of my classmates got a gun for Christmas last year.
Good for them.
But
Well-
maybe they didn't come from the North Pole.
Minerva, I understand you being here. What's up with everybody else?
Mr. Powers called in a couple of favors.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes just made things up.
That too.
Well, you've at least got two good helpers, and he'll gesture to me, myself, and Minerva.
I know Josiah, too.
Oh, yes. He hasn't said much to us.
That's why we get along.
Oh,
James falls far more quiet.
But you two, and he kind of looks at Challenger and Champion, he says, I didn't know they loaned clowns out from the circus.
Put it and shoot you in the face and blast that jaw off and give us all a bit of a rest. It's not as if you had any relevant information to share. So if you're done being unpleasant, do you have anything useful to help us sort this mess out?
And he sort of looks at all of you. I will say that Santa was worried about Mrs. Claus when he and I were talking on our way up to the Yeti Caves.
Which Mrs. Claus?
The new one. As
did
far
he
as I
say
know, the
why?
old one's gone. Just he didn't believe that her intentions were pure.
But he married her anyway.
Well, when you get a look at her, you'll understand why.
Why did he get rid of the old one?
She was old.
She wasn't on the naughty list anymore.
Well, go on.
He said
that
that
why
he overheard her making plans with Jollyvich.
With who?
Jollyvich. She's the, from what I gather, she's the leader of the Elf Union up here. It's been trying to, I don't know, create better working standards for the elves. It's all company
guess they-
town, as far as I know.
I guess they've read the jungle up here.
Yeah, don't even get them started on the meat industry. She's
So-
she's not
Was-
here at the castle though. I overheard a couple of the redcoats saying that they've sieged Jollygrad, trying to find her.
Did we hear the name Jollyvich before?
I think
Yes.
Chucky said it in passing.
Yep, he did. He mentioned that was one of the suspects, along with
Okay. I was getting
This-
Jollyvich and Jollygrad mixed up.
yeah, the snowman, and there was one other
Krampus.
Krampus, along with Mrs. Claus.
Yeah,
Krampus is in the cell across from me. He sucks.
I mean, I know about Krampus because, you know, we have the internet and things. What does Champion know about Krampus?
Give me an expertise world traveler check, champion.
Okay. I'm guessing nothing because that's a 6.
You've not heard of Krampus before.
So I'm just making weird faces every time they say that name.
If anybody has expertise magic or expertise mythology, you can make a check as well.
Expertise history.
I'll let you make it, but it's gonna be a higher DC.
I have history, magic, and theology.
Magic.
I got a 22.
Well, the mysterious boy. You remember one of the Professor Mysterium serials in which Krampus came to town and Anson and Dixie did their best to stop him. He is a figure from German folklore who traditionally comes the night before Christmas and punishes the naughty children. In some myths by eating them, and some other myths by putting them in a big sack and then hitting them with a birch rod a bunch of times.
Oh my god. Love
Well,
those Germans.
Krampus comes and punishes naughty children, and he'll side-eye Challenger.
Sounds like a problem for you.
Sounds like a problem for both of us.
Probably he likes to eat them too. Now be quiet.
Anson sort of gives James a side eye when he spouts off this mythological fact that is true.
James will just sort of like grin at him, but not say anything.
Oh, you're right, kid.
Excuse me. I'm going to go speak to the other detainee. I will walk past Anson and head towards the dungeon.
Are you going by yourself, Josiah, or is there anybody else going with Josiah?
Has he? Do you say anything, or you just walk off?
He just said what he said.
Yeah,
He said I'm going to go
Sound-
speak to the other detainee.
Okay, I didn't know. If
I just
know-
told the children. I just told the children that
Mm.
that they will be eaten if they don't be quiet. I'm going to go talk to the other detainee.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was out loud or to the GM. Gotcha.
No, that was all that was out loud.
Okay, well I figured they'd be quiet. I wasn't sure if after that was you speaking out loud.
Deuce is here for Grumpy Jonesy.
I know I'm kind of torn. I mean, that's a good idea, but I don't want to leave the children here unsupervised. I don't know if taking them with Josiah is a good idea or not.
I'll stay here with them.
Okay.
Just say I might feed him the Krampus.
All right. Champion will follow Josiah then. Sort of give a nod to Minerva and maybe a squint at Anson. And
Yeah. Come
Kid,
back when you have
remember.
superpowers.
Yeah, they seem to have done you a world of good. Kid, remember, don't touch anything.
Got it, boss.
Maybe you should actually listen to him this time.
Oh, wow. I'm glad I'm not around to hear what Mysterious Boy is up to. I don't.
Yeah,
That's a
well, at
conflict
least
of
he
interest.
likes having me around.
Oh snap!
Anson does not come to your defense.
Honestly, it's not really very hard to impress someone like Champion. My hero is a bit harder to, you know, impress. I don't know. I couldn't think of another word.
That sounds very 12-ish.
Yeah, spot on.
Shut up, Challenger. You're dumb.
Shut up.
I mean, he
Booty
doesn't seem
head.
very he doesn't seem very impressive himself. So
My mentor can beat up your mentor.
yeah, yeah.
Putting
That's
that
exactly
in the
how
notes
he
of
feels.
something that has to happen this season.
It's only 5
No.
episodes, Alex.
For now.
Only if Anson gets his cane back.
Champion, you gotta win that fight.
No.
Do what I can. I'll do what I can.
Good news is without the cane, he's like 5 power levels lower, so he's a lot
Yeah,
easier to
he
deal
needs
with
that.
without the cane.
So Minerva will step in and keep questioning Anson while we shift scenes to Josiah and Champion dealing with Krampus.
Yes. Chucky takes Josiah and Champion down to the dungeons, passing through a very mirthless castle. Again, more of these Santa looking down on people disapprovingly posters. The only people who seem to be roaming around here are the redcoats at the moment. You don't see a lot of other elves coming hither or thither. You do pass a manufacturing floor in the castle where you can see there are a few elves chained to their workstations that are working on making toys on a big long assembly line with a couple of redcoats around, keeping an eye on things. Chucky takes you down into the dungeons where you pass through a couple of gated portcullises and you make your way down to the long row of cells, most of which are unoccupied at the moment. There are a couple that are filled with nondescript elves that you notice almost universally have these small blue buttons that say coal on them. The coalition of organized artisanal laborers, and there's a ring around it that says an elf's labor should support the elf. But you also see a couple of other people, including Krampus, who is a tall, very well-dressed man, goat man. He's got long ringed horns, he's got long sharp teeth, he's got goat eyes and a long white beard with taloned hands. He is dressed again in a 3-piece suit, sitting on the bunk of his cell, and next to him is the jankiest snowman you ever did see. He is dressed in a small hat. He appears to have a potato for a nose. He's wearing women's nylons as a scarf. And he has googly eyes that have been implanted into his snow face.
Good Lord, what is this?
Well, hi
I
there.
love him.
I'm Slinky the Snowman. What's your name?
You can call me Champion.
That's a pretty cool name, Champion.
You're comfortable sitting next to that demon thing?
Oh, Krampus? Nah, he's just a big old softy.
Right. So Champion is probably trying to, on the sly, like move the rifle sling around in case he needs to, you know.
What are you doing down here? Are you under arrest too?
No, we're here to investigate the. Is Josiah's there? He's just being quiet again.
Yes.
Okay. We're here investigating the disappearance of Mr. Claus.
Oh, the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been gone for a minute now, like a week or so.
Right. And the holidays are almost upon us.
It'd be
So
really
this is a
bad if he
cause
didn't
for
make it back
concern.
for Christmas time.
Right. Like Champion is sort of like, this is almost a sort of a sense of detachment because he didn't believe any of this Christmas magic stuff. You know, that was a kid thing. And then 2 years ago, the dust up with, you know, at the behest of Mr. Powers. And now he's kind of avoided magic for 2.5 years. Like, this is all kind of surreal. to him. So he's just kind of like looking around. Yeah. So anything you can do to help us sort this out, and the sooner everything can get back to the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I'd really like to get out of this here cell because this is my number one time to move product, man.
I'm sorry, product?
Yeah, do you have any Kringles on you?
Kringles?
Yeah, the company script.
I don't have any Kringles on me. No, sorry. We didn't get a chance to do any currency exchange.
Oh. Well, if you have any money, you should get some Kringles and come on down here to see me, and I'll hook you up.
You're doing business from jail? Is that how the law works here?
I mean, it's really hard. Nobody else comes down here except the redcoats, and they're all real prudish with their Kringles.
Okay. So this is okay. Again, can you help us find what happened to Santa Claus? Find out what happened to Santa Claus.
Sure, I can help you find out what happened to Santa Claus.
Okay.
But you gotta let me out of here.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't have that kind of authority. But if you're innocent, the sooner we solve this, the sooner you can be set free. So, any help here would be great.
All right, you're right. I should. Okay, give me just a second. And he goes over to the other side of his cell, and he takes his big long arms and reaches into his chest circle and starts rooting around in there.
Oh, that's disturbing.
His head turns around. Now you just wait over there for a second. I'll be right with you.
Okay. I'll also keep an eye on the Krampus demon thing.
He is looking at the two of you very bemused.
Great.
And you hear some ruffling. Give me a perception check, champion.
No boy.
While he's doing that,
18. I'm coming around.
I'm just eyeing Krampus, just trying to get a read off of him.
Give me an insight check, Josiah. Krampus seems very amused by what is happening in the cell next door, and he seems like he's above all this, is the read you're getting off of him. Like, he shouldn't be down here, in his opinion. But Champion, with an 18, you think you hear the sound of straw being moved around? By long spindly sticks?
As he's rooting around in his center snowball?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he will come over to... He'll turn around and he'll come over to you, and he has a handkerchief that is bundled with this sort of white, almost sticky, sweet powder in his hand.
What's this?
This is going to help you find Santa Claus.
Okay.
I can give you the first one for free, but the rest of them are going to cost you Kringles.
Okay, again, I'm happy for your burgeoning business enterprise. The sooner we find Mr. Claus, the sooner we can get you out of prison.
Well, take some of this. It'll help.
Okay.
It'll make you sharp and energetic.
Well,
And it'll cure male pattern baldness.
what is this?
It's sugar.
Okay. I'll sort of look at Josiah like,
Josiah, do you have sense magic?
I do not.
Hmm.
I ran out of points.
so how is this going to help us find Santa Claus?
You inhale it, and then you become a better version of yourself.
Oh.
It'll make you a bloodhound. Make you so good at finding people. I find lost things all the time. It helps the elves, too.
Kind of just holding it kind of not close to myself. Mr. Krampus, you have anything you'd care to add to the investigation?
I think you should try it.
Great. A rescue. You're supposed to be German.
I was trying to be, but then Alex's mouth didn't make the noise right.
See, I do the same thing. Every time I turn to a French accent, it always comes out German. I'm not sure what that says about the Germans or me. But anyway. Yeah, see, that Russian accent just triggered, champion. So we'll just pretend that was German. Yeah, I'll have to consider next steps with this. But okay, so
So,
all right,
why did they actually drag you down here, Krampus?
They dragged me down here because I am the usual suspect. I have been trying to kill the Santa Claus for 200 or 300 years now. It is an attempt that has not been overly successful.
Obviously.
But I am not behind what has happened to him. This time.
What do you... And you let them drag you down here?
Let is a strong word. Jessica asked me if I would come down. You will find she can be very persuasive.
It's okay. Obviously, you're not the type to shoot someone, so yeah, I don't even know why they think that you might be a suspect, but
He sort of gives a knowing look at Chucky. He says, well, these elves are, they are zealous, but they're not as good at their jobs as they should be. But you have to applaud them for their gusto. Chucky says, I know you're behind something to do with this.
it's always behind something. That's beside the point. You probably are aware of all the players. Who would you be checking out next? Up on next?
Well, the only one who has not been captured is Miss Jollyvich. And she has been very obstinate about this year's Christmas. Some of her associates are in the cells over there. And he points down the hallway to the coal elves. I even hear that Miss Jollyvich can speak abominable snowman. Not to be confused with this snowman. And he gestures to Slinky, who waves. If you want to know what happened to Santa Claus, I would check over in Jollygrad first. The Yetis would not have used a gun.
And no one else has got a beef with Santa that you haven't heard about yet?
Not that I've heard about yet. Jessica doesn't seem to like him very much.
That was her mistake. Champion, anything else you want to ask?
I don't think so. Is there anybody else that's here in the holding cells?
There are a couple of Jollyvich elves around.
Maybe we could get a sense of what Jollygrad is like, or what we can expect from Jollyvich if we talk to them. What do you think, Josiah?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right, thank you both. Hopefully we can get this sorted out and clear your names quickly. Sort of ask Chucky to show us to the Jolly Vich elves.
Slinky will say, make sure you all come on back, but you got your Kringles now.
Right, Kringles. I don't know. I'll keep that in mind.
And Krampus will resign himself back to his cell, and Slinky will just sort of stand absent-mindedly at the bars. And you guys are taken over to the gathered up Union elves, the Jolly Vich elves, who are dressed in green overalls, red turtlenecks, and they are all sporting these blue buttons that say Cole on them. And they all sort of give you suspicious glances as you walk over to the bars. Get up, you roustabouts. We've got some respectable type folks here to talk to you. This is Chucky. And the elves sort of collectively come to their feet and come over very despondently against the bars. A lot of them wrapping their arms around themselves. Everybody sort of having this general feeling of defeat.
So we're trying to solve the mystery of the missing Mr. Claus.
They all spit when you say his name.
This is, see, you've heard of him.
Heard of him? Of course we heard of him.
Well, if you're not responsible for his disappearance, then you should want us to succeed. That means you get out of here because you're exonerated, right?
I say good riddance to bad eggs. Let him stay gone.
Again, that keeps you locked up.
Nah. As soon as Holly Jollyvich beats the Redcoats, she'll come here and free all of us.
So civil war at the North Pole is your solution?
That's the hope. Put all these Redcoats' heads on spikes, and they all give a dirty look at Chucky.
They sort of look at Josiah and Chucky like, sheesh. So I'm afraid your internal problems are making bigger problems for the world at large. And so, despite your grievances with each other, it's in the interest of most people to put this all to rest. So hopefully that's not going to put us at cross purposes. But we need to know about your boss and what her agenda is.
Give me a persuasion check, champion. And Josiah, if you want to aid, I will let you roll an aid check. Since you're standing there looking all scary. If you want to make it an intimidate to aid, that would be fine too.
Let me see. Rolling to an 8.
Well, Lordy, I could use some help. But it looks like we're of a like mind.
That is a successful aid. That's a 15 for champion with a +2.
Got hero points if you want to spend them, Kevin.
That's true. That's true.
Can't take them home with you.
I haven't made that trophy we're going to have at Origins next year.
You need to. We need to remind the GM that we're not field 11.
I rolled the exact same thing. However, that becomes a 23 and a 25 with Josiah's assistance.
That's true. Well, they all sort of look at you, and they say, "We got a good feeling about you, guy. You don't look like the kind of guy who would oppress a bunch of people."
It's not my way.
Well, the people you're working for, that's their way.
Well, again, don't think of me so much as working for them as just trying to solve a problem that's affecting a whole lot of people. Sometimes to do what's right, we have to make unsavory alliances.
And they sort of look at each other. They look at you and Josiah, champion. And a couple of them move to the other side of the bars, and they begin to make a ruckus. That causes Chucky to go down there, and when Chucky is distracted, they will hand you a small piece of parchment.
Okay. I will try to sort of tuck that into a pocket before Chucky gets back.
And they They say if you want to know about Holly Jollyvich, she's holed up in Jollygrad very well. And it's going to take more than a couple of redcoats to bust in there.
Well, I'm hoping we can talk our way in. We don't have to bust anything.
Well, I don't think the redcoats are going to follow you.
Well, maybe them not following us is for the best.
We'll see what side of the list you wind up on.
I've been on bad lists before.
And they all sort of collectively turn and go back to huddling in the cell.
Well, Chucky, I think we've learned everything we can in the dungeons. If you could take us back to our companions, we could start making plans for the next step.
Yeah, you got it, guy.
So when Chucky is leading us, I want to try and on the slide take the parchment out and sort of with maneuvering so Josiah is between me and Chucky, try and see what's on the paper.
Give me a sleight of hand check, and I'll give
Oh,
you
Lord.
a +2 circumstance bonus for having a very decently sized Josiah block.
Oh, my God. Thank goodness for that +2, because that's a 13. I don't know if I want to burn my last hero point on slyly looking at paper. Especially not when you're going to roll like that.
Well, Chucky rolled a natural 1. He feels pretty good about your guys' alliance.
Okay, that's good.
But, Champion, you kind of take it out, and you see there is a... it looks like there is a hand-drawn diagram that looks like it shows a secret door leading into the coal mines. And a passphrase that says solidarity.
Okay. So we'd actually have to go past Jollygrad to get to the coal mines.
Yeah, they're close to each other, but you would have to go that direction. And after a few moments, you and Josiah emerge back in the throne room, where the redcoats have put their halberds on either side of Anson's neck to keep him pinned down. Minerva, Challenger, and Mysterious Boy, did you have anything going on while they were gone?
I just wanted to get some more information out of Anson, exactly what Santa had brought him up here to do, what preparations he had done to enact that plan, where they were headed when they were jumped, that kind of general info.
And Anson will provide that information. He was brought here to exterminate the abominable snowmen that live in the Yeti caves, to make sure that they were not able to be a military asset for Jollyvich. He was being shown the area around Carpenton by Santa Claus as preparations to begin his journey north to go and kill the Yetis. Again, Anson isn't much of a man for plans. He was just going to go in there and blast the place up. But somebody caught them in a clearing in the woods outside Carpenton, blasted him in the back of the head at the beginning of the encounter. He doesn't know what happened to Santa Claus after that.
Okay, and you said that he was the buckshot had come out of his tear duct, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pick that up off the ground and turn to both of the boys that are with me. So, Mysterious Boy, you said your schoolmate got a gun last year for Christmas, and Challenger, you work with Champion. Do either one of you recognize the caliber of this? Or can tell me what type of gun would fire it?
Take a look. I don't know what I would roll for that.
Me neither.
I don't have gun lore.
Expertise. Firearms.
Yes,
that would be expertise firearms. Do any of you have expertise superhero? I'm inclined to make Mysterious Boys an investigation check because he knows people.
You'd be knowing people.
Could I do like perception just to figure out like what it might have come from, like what type of gun it may have come from, if
Yeah,
not any
sure.
like specifics
Sure.
of who might have wielded it? It's a 22 on perception.
22
20.
and a 20.
Yeah.
Both of you are able to determine that this buckshot came from a 10 gauge shotgun, which is the most powerful shotgun that is legally allowed to be owned in the United States as of 2022. Challenger, I'll say with a 22, you get the impression that this buckshot may have been hand-packed. It doesn't seem to be... you can tell sort of from the scorching that it doesn't seem to be a professional firearm. It may have been a quickly cobbled together or modified one.
Okay. And then, yeah, he'll communicate that to Minerva.
Minerva will smile at both of the boys. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Not one for stuff like this myself, so knowing you two have a bit of a handle on that is helpful.
Oh, well, yeah, anytime you need help with just analyzing something, you know who to ask.
Me.
Well, I meant me,
Did you?
obviously.
Oh,
See,
I wouldn't have guessed.
hold on. Both of you came at this problem from different directions, and both of you managed to help me out. So, I'd call that a win for everyone.
Maybe this time.
I guess it could be.
Anson, question for you.
Sure.
Without your cane, do you still have a sense of magic?
Ordinarily, but there's something weird about this ammunition in my brain.
Do you think it's specific? That was actually my question. You think there's something magically inclined about it?
I think so. It usually doesn't take this long to heal.
So
And I
who
feel
else knew?
disconnected.
So who else knew you were coming up here besides Santa?
Well, I wasn't really privy to that information, but I would imagine his wife would know.
And what can you tell me about the new Mrs. Claus?
She's trouble.
With a capital T?
Yes. She's got that whole femme fatale thing written all over her.
You would know all about that type, wouldn't you?
As a matter of fact, I would. I've been burned enough times to know not to get too close to the candles.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Talking about your vampire friend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not going to last.
Well, you may not have optimism, but I still have hope.
You're both immortal. You get sick of each other eventually.
Well, so long as I don't turn into you, I think I'll be okay.
Snap.
Is there anything else, or can I go back to rotting in my cell?
Why are they keeping you in a cell? They know that you weren't the reason Santa went missing.
They think maybe I'll have some kind of vision or something when the buckshot falls out of my brain,
So why keep you in a cell?
so I don't wander off.
They could put you in a regular room.
That's not really the
Or-
way.
Don't tell me there are no regular rooms besides Santa's here in his castle.
Oh, Mrs. Claus has a suite,
Just Mrs. Claus?
as far as I know. I haven't seen any guest rooms. But I wasn't exactly brought up here as polite company. Maybe you'll have better luck than me.
What did Chucky mean when he said you don't bring someone from the nice list to do something naughty?
He meant I was going to kill those Yetis.
I know. But why is it so black and white?
It's a naughty and nice list. It's not a morally gray list.
But why?
These beings, they're from a place where things are a little more black and white than here. Josiah was right about the Fae thing. They have their rules and their way of doing things, and if you step out of line from that, they punish you.
So then what can I do to keep these two safe?
The kids,
Of course the kids.
send them home.
It's a little late for that. Powers put them here.
Well, keep them close to your side. Watch out for Yeti.
You know, that one is only going to listen to me if you tell him to.
I imagine that the mysterious boy and the challenger are like over to the side, sassing each other.
Yeah, they are already arguing about something else. Why do you want the horse?
because you want it.
You don't even like him.
Hey, Mysterium lad.
It's yes.
Come over here.
He'll walk over and he'll whisper, "It's boy, mysterious boy."
No.
Questionable lad.
All right. We're in the middle of something big here. And I need you to listen to Miss Vauntner if you're going to help me get out of this situation. I've got a very important job for you.
What?
And he'll sort of bring you a little off to the side from everybody else. And he will give a very pained expression as he gets down on like one knee to put a hand on your shoulder.
James is like geeking out, smiling.
I need you to find my cane and bring it back here.
I will. I know exactly what it looks like. And he'll pull out a cane from his pocket that's collapsible, but it opens up into Anson's cane.
Where did you get that?
Where I got everything else that I have. The store.
Dixie's store. Yeah, okay.
I'll find it. I'll find it for you, sir. Don't
Bring
even
it-
worry about it.
Bring it back here, and I will knock this whole place to the ground, and we'll get out of here.
Okay.
And listen to Minerva. But
Okay.
don't tell her about the cane thing.
Okay. It's our secret mission.
Yep.
Cool.
And he'll toss your hair a little bit.
James will turn around with the biggest smile on his face. and walk over, not even to Challenger. He'll walk back to Minerva.
And Anson will be led off by the Redcoats as Chucky brings back Josiah and Champion.
We
Please
had a
tell me.
long flight, and it's been a long day. Is any way we can get a spot to rest up before we take this investigation to the next step? Sort
Chucky
of
will-
arching an eyebrow at Minerva. So saying that to Chucky, but just sort of raising an eyebrow to Minerva is an unspoken signal.
Chucky will look at you and he'll say, "Yeah, I'll get some rooms appointed for you up in the guest suites. And the missus would like to have dinner with you tonight before you head off on your investigations."
Okay. That's good.
And Chucky will lead you upstairs into one of the spiraling towers of Santa's castle. And he has a room appointed for each of you. They're pretty
Okay.
simple rooms as far as bedrooms go. They've got poster beds. There are dressers in a couple of them. Notice each of them has a shelf, and on that shelf are two porcelain elf dolls.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
They are sitting there. They have glowing red eyes. And Chucky says, "Mind the elves on the shelves."
What's with the creepy dolls, pal?
They're here to keep an eye on you. Make sure you stay nice and not naughty.
You're gonna watch us while we sleep?
I am already on the naughty list, so they can leave now.
He looks up at the little elves on the shelf, and they sort of shrug their shoulders.
There's a little glint of fire in my eyes when I say that.
They sort of look down at you. They look over at Chucky, and Chucky nods, and they open up a small mouse door on the wall, and they crawl inside and slam the door shut.
Well, I was gonna look for hidey holes where people might spy on us, but that's pretty obvious.
You are here as a guest of Santa Claus.
Most people with guests don't spy on their guests.
Well, we've had a couple of bad eggs recently.
That stayed in the castle.
In a manner of speaking.
Hmm.
The dungeon's still in the castle. Chucky chuckles to himself.
It's not a guest room in the castle. I hope there's a difference between the dungeon denizens and your guests.
Yeah, depends on if they're naughty or nice.
I hate magic.
But I'll leave you all to it.
What time is dinner?
It's in 2 hours.
Right. So everyone should try to rest up.
With
Chucky will
those guys watching us?
Well, no, they departed, didn't they?
Just
only in
in
Josiah's
just
room.
yeah, just in Josiah's room.
Well, I'm going into. You said everyone has their own room?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to the room assigned to Challenger and look at the little elf things. Into the wall. Get out. Go on. If they don't move fast enough, I'll go open the little door in the wall. Out.
No,
you
just-
heard him.
Out.
Alex, I would have followed too, and I can understand the elves.
Cool. They're like, "We're just trying to do our job, man." Santa Claus said we had to watch all the good boys and girls. He's one of the good boys.
Yeah, well, we're guests in the house, and it's kind of creepy that you're just sitting there listening in and watching. So, out.
As I translate for you.
We're not just.
Yeah.
I mean, we're judging too. We're not just sitting here and watching. That would be weird.
You're
If
not.
you want our help, you're going to have to respect our privacy. Get out.
Minerva turns to the elves and is like,
She doesn't have to translate herself.
Yeah, I was
She's
gonna say-
automatic- they automatically understand her.
Do they seem to understand me, or do they kind of look to Minerva for translation as well?
They look to Minerva for translation.
Can you just tell all of them to get out of our rooms?
Some of them are going to have to stay, otherwise it'll be weird, but I can at least
At least get them out of the kids' rooms.
Yeah. Yep.
Give me a persuasion check, Minerva.
Okay.
Because the kids' rooms are the ones that they have to watch the most.
22.
They sort of look at each other and they look at you and they say, okay, but make sure that they know Santa is always watching.
They know.
And they get up off the shelf, they go into their little mouse door, and they slam it shut behind them.
When we're out in the hall, is there any sign of little creepy watchers out there?
There are not.
I will, even so, just because I don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. I will try to pass Minerva the little parchment paper on the sly. I assume you want a sleight of hand check for that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm not taking that one. And it's 954, so I'm going to spend that last hero point. Let's do that again. Stupid one. Which becomes a 20 because it's a hero point reroll.
You don't think the elves on the shelves have noticed.
Okay. So are there clocks in the room? I mean, I know it's not the era of, eye watches. Are there clocks in the rooms?
There are a couple of cuckoo clocks around.
All right. So let's meet. Let's get together 15 minutes before it's time to go to dinner and present ourselves as a unified front.
Sounds good. And I don't need to rest.
I know, but the others do.
I know. I'm just saying I'll keep an eye out.
Thank you.
I don't feel all that tired, but if you think it's a good idea.
Well, I mean, we left. It was 9 p.m. and we flew for 3 hours, and now we've got investigating to do. So part of your training is resting when you can, so you got the juice when it's go time.
Oh, it's a training thing. Okay, well then, sure, you got it.
Right, I guess it is like 2 o'clock in the morning now. Maybe Miss Claus wants to have brunch in the morning.
Sounds like a better idea.
He likes late dinner.
Bottomless mimosas at the North Pole. Well, any last parting scenes as everybody is bedding down for the evening?
Yes. Whenever wants to go find Josiah real quick.
Awesome.
So Anson said you were right about this being related to the Fae, or at least the elves. It seems like we have to really pay attention to the rules they set down. Have you dealt with the Fae before? It sounds like you have.
I've had some brief encounters with the Fae. Mostly the Fae that are native to my homeland of England. But
if their rules aren't the way we normally would think about things, are there ways that we can use them against them?
something I can ponder on.
Okay. Just something else to have in case things go sideways. I'm a little worried about the kids. Frankly, I'm a little bit worried about all of us up here too.
Not knowing the capabilities of the rest of the crew, the rest of you, I suspect that worry is not misplaced.
Well, we should spend a little bit of time getting to know each other a little bit better before we go and see Mrs. Claus, assuming that she is not Faye. Do you think the food will be okay for everyone to have?
I suspect it will be, but let me do some consulting and sort out that.
Because we didn't bring anything. And the kids are going to be hungry in the morning. I'll leave you to do whatever it is you're going to do. Good night, Mr. Wright.
Good evening.
It's just to back it up. Before we all separated to our rooms for the night, I would pass the magic dust to Minerva and say, "I got this from a talking snowman. He says it will help us find Santa, but I'm not trusting it." So I don't know if you can do anything with this, but
Before we get into that, thank you, Goblin Cave TV, for raiding with a party of 9. They've come to share
Holy
the love,
crap.
and their hearts are warm and fresh. That's exactly how I love my hearts.
Ooh.
Side
Awesome.
of ranch. Oh.
Cider Ranch. Well, I am from Ohio.
So are you're passing the magical sugar to
yeah.
Minerva and
Yeah.
asking Josiah to check in on it, or
Well,
okay,
asking Minerva to check in on it.
okay,
I mean-
then Minerva will pass it on to Josiah during that scene.
Okay. I mean, cocaine and heroin were a thing in the 1920s, so I don't know what the talking snowman passed off, but I'm a little leery.
And Josiah doesn't have sense magic.
Do the rooms? Do the rooms have windows?
They do. They look out over the castle courtyard.
Okay. So after like people have kind of separated, like Champion just kind of go in and is staring out the window a little bit, like, how do we end up in the middle of these things? So then he will, I guess, dim the lamps and slip uncomfortably into sleep.
Josiah, if you want to give me an expertise magic check, we'll see if this is a reagent you're familiar with.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Goblin Cave TV. We can say Fook and Alex all day.
Expertise magic. I got an 18 on that roll. I'm not loving that, and I have a hero point, so I am going to spend my hero point for a reroll.
We will take a reroll. That
20.
becomes a 20, which is going to be enough. You are examining this. You've seen this kind of powder before. The snowman called it sugar. It is a magical Fey stimulant that you've run into the past. It's usually used to help Fey perform rituals that take many, many months to complete. As
So
Slinky said, they do have the ability. It does have the ability to improve focus, to increase energy, and to make the being that imbibes it forget about their natural needs for some time.
So it is fake cocaine.
It is fake cocaine.
Cocaine.
You don't know if it has any negative consequences for humans that take it or not. But it is highly addictive to Fae.
Going to safely put that away.
One final note that you do get from that 20 is that usually it's something associated with the summer courts, not the winter courts. You're not sure where a snowman would find something like this. At the North Pole, anyway.
And so the lay of the land for our rooms. Our rooms we have the it's a castle, so there's stone floors and like area rugs.
Yes. Yep.
Because I'm just as a FYI, I'm going to plan on rolling out one of my area rugs and breaking out a piece of chalk, and I'm going to do some rituals to see if I can find out some more information between now, but we can handle that next episode. But yeah,
Excellent.
'cause I have the advantage ritualist.
Perfect. So I'll just say you're able to inscribe a couple of protective wards on your floor before we leave Josiah for the evening. Challenger or Mysterious Boy, do you have any final parting scenes before we call it a night?
Challenger was, he was ordered to take rest by his mentor, so he is going to do that, but he is going to lie awake for a bit, feeling conflicted because a lot of his illusions about Santa have been very, very soundly shattered at this point, so it might take him some time to actually get some rest. He's going to be lying awake on his back for a while, and will sleep in the costume with the mask on.
And Kat, I think you're on mute.
And Mysterious Boy is going to hang up his tuxedo because he doesn't want it to wrinkle. And then he's just going to go to bed. He's very happy, very content. He got to meet his hero, and his hero gave him a secret mission. And he's just happy. He's used to sleeping by himself. Like, this isn't new for him. So he's good to go. He's just going to go straight to sleep.
Excellent. So, as our heroes head off to their first night at the North Pole, I think that is a great place for us to go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this special first episode of our Titan City Christmas special, in which some Golden Age heroes and monsters and everybody are trying to track down what happened to jolly old Saint Nick, who may not be as jolly as thought. As for news around the network, tomorrow night we will be back with the Gemstars, our magical girl show set in our Earth Prime, or Untold Stories Project Earth Prime tabletop universe. Wednesday we'll be back for another Christmas special, which will be another Mutants and Masterminds game, which I will be leading a couple of our heroes through the Christmas Idiot Box. Which is going to be a lot of fun. They're going to get stuck in a bunch of different Christmas TV style shows and movies and things like that. We might have some claymation heroes. Who knows? It's going to be great. Thursday, we'll have a new blog post up. Friday, our new episodes from YouTube will be available on the website. And then next Monday, we will be back here for the continuation of Titan City Chronicles Silenced Night. I'm going to give everybody a chance to say goodbye and plug anything they want to plug. I do want to plug Win with Dice because I just listened to Calvin's episode Interview with a New GM, and it was great. Interview with the first time GM. It was awesome. So if you're a fan of Calvin, go over to Win with Dice on YouTube and spend more time with him because he's great.
Who isn't a fan of Calvin?
Is anything like Interview with a Vampire? I'm just curious.
A little bit.
A little bit. I will pass it down to Kevin.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin. I have reprised my role as champion for the first time in over 2 years. Makes me feel old. No, it's nice to be back in the saddle in the 1920s again. So hopefully you will come back with us next week for part 2 of our Titan City Christmas special, Silence Night. Check out those one-shots and our regular Tuesday night shenanigans. And we'll be back next week, kicking it over to Jonesy.
Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in. Had a great night playing little Eminem and playing my grumpy old crotchety old arcanist. So as far as plugging around the interwebs, it is Cyber Monday, and our friends over at Green Money Publishing are having a pretty big sale. All their stuff on the store is 20% off, and they just released a massive third era PDF bundle set. So lots of awesome stuff if you want to check that out, by all means. With that, I kick it down to Calvin.
All right. Yeah, this was really fun. Having a lot of fun with this character. I'm glad it was on site the moment that he and Mysterious Boy met. And yeah, like Alex said, there's a lot of GM podcast stuff that we do over on the Women's Ice channel. I did have an interview with my friend who ran their first ever RPG game, and it was a whole lot of fun because they had some really awesome and unique ideas, and they made a whole bunch of cool minis and stuff that I put some pictures of in the episode. And they look really neat, and they're like super cheap, like dollar store stuff that they just painted, and it looks incredible. So yeah, check that out. And I'll pass it over to Andy.
Yep. Thank you everyone for joining us back in Titan City. Again, definitely one of my favorite settings to play in, and Minerva is one of my favorite characters to get a chance to play. So it hasn't quite been 2 years for me since I got to reprise her a few weeks ago, but it's the first time with an OG, and it feels better to play with somebody that knows Minerva as well as Champion does. So to that end, thank you for joining us for tonight's game. Come join us for the rest of our series that we're doing for this. And I think I mentioned this last week, but all of our Wednesday one-shots leading up to Christmas are going to be holiday themed. So come join us for a lot of interesting takes on holiday stuff in the next 4 weeks or so, I think. Yeah, next week is my week to run. I follow Alex's Idiot Box with Power Rangers, so we'll see how that goes. And with that, Kat, you get to finish us off tonight.
Yay! I'm at the end. Thank you guys for watching so much. I'm having a great time playing the Mysterious Boy, and I'm not really feeling well tonight, so hopefully next week he'll be even more annoying because I'll be up to it. I am in the Christmas one shot on Wednesday, as long as I'm not dead.
Wow.
I'm not really feeling great right now. I think I have a fever, so I'm gonna take care of that. But I'm glad that I get to play in this game. I love Christmas. I love these people. So just thanks for watching. I will pass it back up to Alex.
Yeah, thank you again, everybody. Until we see you next time, make good choices, be good people.